Welcome to Good Morning Keys on Keys Talk 96.9, 102.5.
And good morning, Keys. Keys Talk 96.9, 102.5. The Talk of the Keys. Another hot one underway. We'll have your complete forecast here again in just a moment. Also, SADS are reporting workplace accident in Marathon occurred yesterday on a job site. The identity of the victim has not been divulged as of yet, but a local person, it's our understanding, was killed on a job site in Marathon, and more details will be available on that upcoming as well. Again, a hot day, but we're going to be up at around 92 degrees. No significant chance of precipitation that we're looking at currently. So that is good. We're going to be mild winds on the waters as well, and that will continue all the way through the weekend. So we'll keep you posted if anything changes there. But the Saharan dust is definitely helping our weather situation here moving forward. This is Keys Talk 96.9, 102.5, the Talk of the Keys. Our first guest coming up here in just a moment. And of course, breaking news as soon as it happens. We'll be right back with Good Morning Keys. Keys Talk 96.9, 102.5, the Talk of the Keys.
Good morning, dear. Breakfast almost ready.
In a minute. So did you happen to call someone about spalling repair for the house?
You know what? I knew I forgot something yesterday.
Honey, you know how important spalling repair is, especially here in the Keys. If that spalling damage gets any worse...
Don't worry. I'll call Design Center in Marathon.
When?
Today.
How about now?
Okay, dear. Now.
Design Center, the most efficient spalling contractor in the Keys, providing the fastest results. With over 40 years combined experience in spalling repair and a member of the International Concrete Repair Institute, Design Center can handle the largest jobs to small structures. They also handle quite a number of condominium and county projects. Mention this ad or the program you're listening to and receive 10% off your spalling repair. Visit DesignCenterFL.com or call 305-735-4042. Design Center, 6677 Overseas Highway Marathon. License number CGC 1523838. Remember, mention this ad or the program you're listening to and receive 10% off your spalling repair from Design Center.
This is Ollie North for 4-Star Rentals. 4-Star Rentals is the most complete rental store in the Keys. They can provide rental equipment for every do-it-yourself project from your house to your yard. Bobcats, chippers, chainsaws, and tile saws, you name it, they have it. They also deliver throughout the Keys. That's 4-Star Rentals. Model marker 4.5 on Stock Island. These guys are really good. That's 4-Star Rentals. Go see them soon.
Check us out. What Colonel Ollie North says is absolutely true. We're locally owned and operated. We offer a fleet of delivery trucks for fast all-in-one delivery. 4-Star Rentals is the oldest tool rental and party store in the Florida Keys. We make it easy to get that job done for that party or very special event. We're located at mile marker 4.5 in Key West, or just call us and we'll come to you. 4-Star Rentals, 294-7171. That's 294-7171. Remember, Colonel Ollie North never lies.
Historic Pepe's Cafe in Key West, founded in 1909, still does things the old way. Diachronic, if you will. How about fresh squeezed juices? Think how good that margarita or Greyhound will taste. Blue Point oysters shucked to order because oysters work better that way. Fresh breads and outstanding specials in an eatery that opened the same year Ole Evinrude invented the first outboard motor. And get a jump on someone's birthday and check out our retail offerings for some great gift ideas. Pepe's Cafe, Old Town Key West, of course.
Get ready to laugh out loud with the Greenhouse Giggles. Brought to you by the Greenhouse Dispensaries of Florida. Monday through Friday, it's a hand-picked lineup of timeless TV comedy that guarantees smiles, chuckles, and full-on giggles. Each episode features legendary performers like Red Skelton, Bob Hope, The Three Stooges, Betty White, George Burns, Milton Berle, Dick Van Dyke, and so many more. So catch the giggles for Greenhouse Giggles, weekdays 4 p.m. and 8 p.m. Sponsored by the Greenhouse, here on Keys Living TV.
If it's happening in the Keys, you will hear about it here. This is Good Morning Keys on Keys Talk 96.9, 102.5.
And good morning, Keys. Keys Talk 96.9, 102.5. The Talk of the Keys. And indeed, we are going to get right to our next guest. It is Greg Veliz. He is the Executive Director of Florida Keys Aqueduct Authority. Good morning to you, Greg.
Good morning, Michael. How are you?
I'm doing well. Hang on. Let me just... There we go. We've got you. So busy time here. We've got state budgets finally, et cetera. So, but let's get right to your first announcement about a water quality result. Maybe you can fill us in on that.
Every year we have to do a water quality report. It's mandated by the state. And we have to make it available to all of our customers, which we do. It's on our website. It's also hard copies are available in each one of our offices in our customer service office. So it basically gives you, I find it to be kind of interesting, gives you a rundown of the system, gives you how we process what we do. And then it gives you whatever the quality reports were for the year, which ours, I know we take a lot of heat, a lot of jokes made, but we have very good water quality reports.
Oh, yeah. Well, you've been given awards for water quality in the past, haven't you?
We have. We regularly win the Water Taste award for South Florida and have for a few years now. And then we won it for the state this year.
Oh,
so
wow.
we're in possession of the state trophy, which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
We do get a lot of awards for both taste and quality.
Yeah, I see that. So it's right on the website. And again, you can go to, looks like fkaa.com. You go down to popular links and water quality reports. It's right there. A number of different years there as well. So,
yes.
But we did fare pretty well compared to previous years in the water quality report.
Yeah, we continue to maintain high quality. We do an enormous amount of testing and of course we have the whole treatment plant up in Florida City. Not to sugarcoat things, we're still under the PFAS mandate and we're moving towards that end, taking the PFAS completely out of the water. There were never very strict regulations, so we were always fine. But now that they've taken the regulation basically down to zero, we're gonna, we have to get there. And we've been making strides for several years. I think we got a good jump on it. So we're gonna have to rebuild Florida City eventually to revamp our treatment process.
Yeah. So how many years do we have to comply with that?
5, and I think there was an extension put on. I mean, first of all, there's no funding available. So everything that has to happen, and we're looking at about $100 million rebuild, all has to be done with existing funds at this point. There have been no federal funds, no state funds made available. So we're pretty much fitting that in to whatever we had planned for the next 5 years.
And is this a federal mandate or state mandate? I was trying to recall.
Federal.
Okay. So they said you must do this, but they didn't provide any means to do it with.
Correct.
That was nice of them. So this will
get a lot of that.
Well, and I tell you, so this has to be for all water systems nationwide, or is that how that's?
Yes, PFAS. Now, not everybody has as high levels, and admittedly, so we have very high levels, and it seems to that the for whatever reason, the amounts seem to increase the further south. Us being the southernmost, we have very high levels, and I mean, I don't want to downplay it. I don't wake up every day thinking about it, but we know we have to get to where we have to get. So that's, from a professional standpoint, that's where we need to be.
But is it true that in the meantime, there's really not a health risk or anything of that nature? Is that right?
Nothing more than you've been exposed or I've been exposed to for as long as we've been here and probably other places. PFAS is everywhere.
Okay.
It's in the clothes you're wearing. It's in the laundry now. It's everywhere. And it continues to be everywhere. So it's a problem that's going to be out there. We just got to get it out of the drinking water.
I see. So $100 million on top of all the other funds that you're constantly trying to raise to, build our infrastructure out and replace aged pipe and that kind of thing. So that's not an easy task to just kind of shoehorn that into everything else. It requires an intense amount of capital.
Right. No, we always say we bring water and money south. That's the only way this whole thing works.
I guess so. Again, Greg Veliz, Executive Director, Florida Keys Aqueduct Authority on Good Morning Keys. How are we doing with the latest in terms of the pipe replacement, et cetera? It's still in the upper Keys predominantly, right?
Yes, we just finished our last section. We've done all the tie-ins. We've got some asphalt work and some curb work to do. But 86 to 92 is done. And that was a problem part. We had all the traffic issues, and it was not an easy run of pipe. But, we're going to run out of money before we run out of projects. And it's been a constant battle at $10 million a mile. Every 5, 6, 7 mile stretch is a big dollar amount. And so far we've been able to manage it. But eventually, you're talking $1 billion, and that's a lot of money over. We'll just have to spread it out over the years, but it's going to have to be done. There's no other way. I mean, we have to put in the new pipe eventually. It's just feeding that $100 million every few miles it's tough.
Well, it's an investment. It's a necessity, as we all know. We have to have water, and we've been kept in the water for this long, and it has to continue. State budget this year, did we fare okay as far as the projects we have in the immediate future?
We feel like we did well. Yeah.
Okay.
We had started out lower, and we ended up getting our share. So $10 million, I think we did well.
Okay. Very good. And federal dollars, federal support, do we get much from them?
We've got to open up that avenue of communication. It's been hit and miss for us. We seem to get Washington's interest whenever something catastrophic happens and we lose water. We seem to get more attention then. So, but we're going to have to open up the lines of communication there.
It seems like there's some conversation on the federal level and the state level, of course, with the Everglades restoration and that kind of thing. The ongoing projects there and funding going to the Everglades, is that a positive or not necessarily for us here with the aqueduct?
Anything that alleviates water. I mean, I sit here and we joke about rain, and this rain, anything that moves water around helps us. Right now we could use some rain. Not that any of it's actually going to go in a tank anywhere, but if some people have services that, lawn maintenance is our biggest draw. Everyone is always surprised by that, but the amount of irrigation that's used in the Florida Keys is our biggest draw. So if some systems can cut off for a little while and give us a break, that helps.
Yeah, I was going to say that's an important point to say to the public, please conserve. Do what you can to cut back on irrigation and wasteful water. If you can find ways to curtail your use, it helps all of us. It's Greg Veliz, Executive Director, Florida Keys Aqueduct Authority. Greg, I know that your time is limited and precious, but reverse osmosis, we continue to pursue that, and over time that can help.
It will. It will. That new RO plant that we're putting up in Marathon, it has been an uphill battle, but if you were to see it, we had some pictures made available. I think they're on the website also. It's incredible how far it's come from just an idea. And now you can actually see it. It's high, it's big. We're making an impact. So yeah, it's promising. And getting the other night when we had that leak, that 4 million gallon, that RO plant running constantly throughout that, and for that weekend going into the 4th of July weekend, that was huge for us. We came back quicker than we've ever come back before. So it does make a difference.
Yeah, very good. Well, we certainly appreciate your leadership in pursuing a lot of different solutions for keeping us in water and getting rid of our wastewater as well. That's another important aspect. But your team put a lot of work into the water quality report as mandated, but the least we can do is take a look at it and read it as well, which is fkaa.com under water quality reports to find out more. Greg Veliz, Executive Director, Florida Keys Aqueduct Authority. It's 8:29. You've got a meeting at 8:30. Unless there's anything else you'd like to say, sir, we will bid you a good day.
No, thanks everyone for being so understanding with the construction projects. And we're going to keep getting it done for you. So take care. Have a good weekend.
About that. Thank you, Greg. You take care. All righty. We'll talk to you soon. It's Greg Veliz, Executive Director, Florida Keys Aqueduct Authority, on Good Morning Keys at 8:29, as mentioned. And we are currently at 84 degrees, actually a little bit cooler than what we've seen. 10% chance of rain. Greg would be very happy if that percentage would increase. It does. 20% chance of rain for tonight at 84. Tomorrow's high, same as today, 90 with a 10% chance of a shower or thunder shower. That continues all the way to Saturday with a 20% chance of rain on Saturday and the high at 90 each day. Keys Talk 96.9, 102.5. The Talk of the Keys. We return with more of Good Morning Keys in a moment.
Are you frustrated by weight gain even though you constantly diet? Do you have low energy or always feel tired? It could be hormonal imbalance. Hormonal imbalances, especially as we age, can be the cause of depression, weight gain, mood swings, decreased libido, and many other chronic conditions. At Keys Med Spa, we have helped thousands of women and men regain their hormonal balance with BioT, bioidentical hormone optimization therapy, and the results are life-changing. Keys Med Spa BioT hormone therapy is safe, effective, painless, and affordable. And the big difference at Keys Med Spa, this is all overseen by renowned Dr. Peterson, who has had a medical practice in the Keys for over 27 years. Cool sculpting, Botox, skin treatments, BioT hormone therapy, and more. Dr. Peterson and his team are here to help you maintain your youthful glow and vitality. To see if BioT hormone therapy is right for you, call Keys Med Spa today at 305-587-9183.
The Greenhouse. Have you been there yet? We even spell it with 3 E's to help you smile when you say it. That's our goal. We carry the largest selection of hemp-derived THC and CBD products in Monroe County. If you've been taking medication for anxiety, depression, inflammation, lack of sleep, or muscle and joint pain and it's just not working, or you don't like the side effects, we can help. If you're looking to chill, relax, escape, focus, or even break out into euphoric fits of laughter, we can help there too. No medical card is needed. You just have to be 21 or over. Our 3 locations are open 7 days a week from 10 a.m. to 9 p.m. In Key West, we're at 431 Front Street, just in front of Mallory Square. In Marathon, you can find us at mile marker 52 at 10875 Overseas Highway. In Key Largo, we're at 99304 Overseas Highway in the middle of the road. Swing on by, share your goals with us, and we'll recommend a product to help you reach them. And we back our recommendations with a 100% money-back guarantee. The Greenhouse. Stop on by and find out what the buzz is all about today.
Visit one of the 12 locations of the Greenhouse, including 9 in the Keys and featuring their newest store at 3128 North Roosevelt, Key West.
Hey Key West, Danny Hughes here from Two Friends. Really from Two Friends. So Maura and I were sitting at breakfast in the bar, listening to live music at 8:30 a.m. on a Tuesday. She's about to enjoy some huevos rancheros and me shrimp and grits with fried oysters. Heart healthy. And Maura says, Dorothy, we're not in Kansas anymore. It was perfect because we didn't move here because Key West is like a lot of other places. We moved here because it isn't like any other place on earth. So meet your friends or make your friends at Two Friends, 512 Front Street in Old Town Key West or twofriends.com.
The voice of Monroe County, yours. This is Good Morning Keys on Keys Talk 96.9, 102.5.
Keys Talk 96.9, 102.5. The Talk of the Keys, and good morning to you. It is, 8:34. How about that? And we are now going to say good morning to our next guest. It is Julie Cheon. She is the Sanctuary Communications Manager for the Florida Keys National Marine Sanctuary. Hello, Julie. Good morning. How are you?
Good morning. Doing well. It's a beautiful morning here in the Keys. Nice, a little breeze, some cloud cover. I think it's about good as it gets this time of year.
It is very nice, in fact, and a lot of people out on the water due to those lower winds, etc. So let's talk about what's under the water first, though, with a new subsea habitat recently deployed. Subsea, I can only imagine it's under the sea, as Ariel would say, right?
You got it. Absolutely. So this subsea habitat, the folks that are on the water around the Tennessee Reef area, and if people don't know where the Tennessee Reef area is, it's about 4.6 miles south of Long Key. But in that area, the subsurface habitat was deployed. It's named the Vanguard. And so it's very similar. A lot of people will be familiar with the Aquarius. That's a subsea habitat. Well, this is a brand new subsea habitat that just went in there at Tennessee Reef. And so there's been a lot of talk recently about the Artemis space mission and how some of those astronauts trained at the Aquarius. And this will be utilized in the same way, and not only for training astronauts, but also researchers. So they put it on a sandy bottom. It's about 56 feet below the surface. But if you're traversing above there in this Tennessee Reef Conservation Area, you will notice a large buoy and then 4 buoys on either corner that are all sort of tethered together there. And the major buoy supplies air, it supplies communications, it supplies other life support needs. So whatever the aquanauts and the researchers that will be soon living inside, it will all come through there. So it's really kind of cool. If you want to see what that looks like from an aerial view, you can go to our social media. We posted that a few days ago to give folks a little look about what it looks like on top. And we also posted a picture on the bottom. Now, for those who may not know about the Tennessee Reef Conservation Area, it's a spur and groove reef, and it has real slow growing corals and sponges. And so this area has been used for research for a significant period of time. And it is transit only to boaters. So if you don't have an access permit, you just have to keep going right through this area. And it's an important place for coral reef restoration. So we think we found a really good spot where this was deployed in the sandy areas. And it's not yet hosting research crews down there, but when it does, when we'll go through all its operational testing, it'll be able to support up to 4 people. But it's kind of tight quarters. I got to tell you, it's about the size of a city bus. So 4 people, but they can live and work underwater for several days at a time. And for those divers, those listeners who are divers, they understand how important it is. Because it's a lot of work to dive down, and your air runs out, you have to come back up. But they'll be able to work in and out of that habitat for days at a time. And for things like research missions and coral research and reef research, it's really what a great opportunity to be able to stay down there and continue your research without all that interruption. So the extended time underwater is a real benefit to that.
I was going to say, so is that subsea habitat operated by the National Marine Sanctuary or?
No, excellent. I'm glad you brought that up. No, so it's an organization called DEEP. It's DEEP, and they've deployed it. And they have, they're like an international organization. I know they have a location here in the Keys, a land-based location here in the Keys, but they also have some internationally as well. So they're going in deep with the aquanaut training and the research. And I guess that name DEEP is appropriate for them.
Yeah. So, and the aquanauts, those are eventually the astronauts then? Is that right?
Yeah. So they'll eventually be the astronauts that do that. So, and it's really a really great way for them to train in the same conditions that they would see in space without having to send them off to space. So that's worked out really well. It worked out really well for the Artemis crew, and so I expect it'll continue to be the same for all the future aquanauts and astronauts. So I think it's really kind of cool that your sanctuary down here is playing a part not only in coral research but in space exploration.
Yeah,
it's kind of neat.
That is very cool. We'll hear more about that, I hope, in future visits with you. The subsea habitat just recently deployed in the National Marine Sanctuary. We're speaking with Julie Cheon. She is the Sanctuary Communications Manager for the Florida Keys National Marine Sanctuary on Good Morning Keys. So, Julie, when you and I spoke last month, the water temperatures had not yet reached the level recorded at the same point in 2023. However, what are the scientists seeing now? We're hearing about, the hot temperatures, et cetera. How can people on the water help with some of the effects as well?
Okay. Yeah, no, great question. So this update is not as fun as the last one. The ocean temperatures have now exceeded the 2023 thresholds. And that's really significant because in 2023, a lot of you folks will remember, the region experienced record-breaking coral heat record-breaking coral heat and stress and bleaching. If you go to our social media, we posted, I think 2 days ago, or was it yesterday? There's a side-by-side graphic showing the water temperatures in 2026 versus the same time in 2023. And it's unfortunately, it's a lot hotter than that. So some of the reefs have already reached or exceeded the coral bleaching level threshold. And there's an organization, part of NOAA, which is the Coral Reef Watch bleaching team. And Coral Reef Watch, what they do is they have an alert system which categorizes the level of bleaching. Well, in 2023, the amount of bleaching and heat stress just blew that categorization out of the water, and they had to actually change from 3 categories to 5 categories. And right now we are in bleaching alert level 1. So enough heat has accumulated that significant coral bleaching is expected. If these conditions continue, that we are expecting a significant coral bleaching. Hopefully they won't continue. It is a little too early to tell. Winds like nice breezes today help, and storms actually help. We are in an El Nino, so we're not expecting a lot of storms this year, which is good for some of us, but maybe not so good for the water temperatures and the coral. Another optimistic news, or more optimistic news, is that the Gulf Stream is actually currently flowing closer to the Florida Keys than it has in recent years. And what that sometimes does is brings cooler water in a periodic upwelling. So hopefully that will help offset some of this. It's really too early to tell where we'll end up, but right now the numbers are not where we want them to be, and they're actually above the 2023 levels. But before I get to your question about what the community can do, I do want to talk a little bit about what our partners are doing, because there is a response plan in place. It's based off of a lot of the lessons learned by 2023, but the coral practitioner partners that we have, they are doing things like they're moving some of their coral nursery corals to land-based nurseries. So they're moving some of their nurseries to deeper sites. So they found some sites there that are deeper that aren't quite as negatively affected by the heat. So they're moving some of their sites there. And they're also testing shade structures over the coral nurseries. Because what they found is that it's not only the heat that hurts the coral, but it's a combination of heat and light. So it looks like this is sort of a test program, but it looks like the shade structures may provide some relief as well. So they are acting. The heat's out, but these folks are moving. They've got a plan, and they're starting to execute that plan. Now, for the community, if you're a diver, we really recommend that please report any bleaching you observe. And even if you don't observe bleaching, we want you to report the healthy unbleached coral. That information is just as valuable. And so you can go to Florida's Bleach Watch program. It's through the FDEP, but just Google Florida Bleach Watch, and you can report where you see bleaching, or just as good, where you don't see bleaching. And both of those, they help the scientists understand where the reefs are under stress and where the corals may be doing well. So all that information is important. And if you can participate, if you're available to do that, we would love to have that information. It's just more eyes on the water. So we'd really appreciate that.
Yes, indeed. Julie Cheon, she is the communications manager for the Sanctuary Communications of Florida Keys National Marine Sanctuary on Good Morning Keys. Let's talk about yellow-footed snails. That's not something I talk about often, but we're going to now. We have been hearing about them. So maybe give us a little bit of background there.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, we're back to some interesting things here. I call it the snail patrol. But what it is we've recently started training Blue Star dive operators to train them in how to remove these snails. So Chandler Wright, our stewardship manager for Mission Iconic Reefs, she recently led the Iconic Reef Guardian Reef Experience training. So that's a mouthful. Iconic Reef Guardian Reef Experience training. They prepared these Blue Star dive operators to support this hands-on reef stewardship. So what happened was they had the training, they did some land-based instruction, and then they went in the water. And I actually got to attend one of these trainings and actually go out on the water with them. And it was absolutely phenomenal. They practiced identifying and removing the yellow-footed snails while they were out there. They also conducted fish and invertebrate surveys. They also talked about removing marine debris and all these stewardship activities. And the yellow-footed snails are interesting. They're a native coral predator, so they're a native animal. But with the coral levels so low, their numbers are just too high, and they're just eating too much of the coral that we have left. And they also, we call them yellow-footed snails, and if you see the foot, you will see that it is yellow. But that's not what you see when you look, and they're really hard to identify. They're really difficult to pick out, so you really do need practice with that. And when everybody came up from their first dive, it was like, man, it was really hard to find. But then by the second dive, once they kind of got their momentum and got their eyes trained to it, they started picking them up. So it was really a neat training, and I just, the enthusiasm of the dive operators. There were 36 dive professionals representing a total of 11 Blue Star dive shops. Everybody from Key Largo to Key West trained on this. They also noted they recorded 2,100 fish, 125 invertebrates, and they removed 329 snails. And this program is really cool because we've trained these dive operators, these Blue Star dive operators, and soon, once the permitting is finished up and all this work is done under, very strict permitting, but once their permits are all issued, they will be able to take folks out onto the reef, train them on how to do this, and then the community can come and actually help remove these yellow-footed snails. So it's really cool to check out the iconic reef guiding experiences. This one isn't up and running yet until the permits are out. We expect that to be early winter. But we have other Mission Iconic Reef guiding experiences, and just go to missioniconicreefs.org and you can see what's going on there. I would be remiss if I didn't mention this is done as a combination between collaboration between the Sanctuary and the Sanctuary Foundation. So missioniconicreefs.org to check out more information on that.
Yeah. Okay. So, Julie, we talked a little bit earlier in the hour with Greg Veliz from the Florida Keys Aqueduct Authority, and they have their water quality report out. But you've got a water quality protection program in place as well, and there's a steering committee involved with that. There's a meeting happening with them today.
Yeah. So it sounds like the agencies are tackling water quality today.
Yes.
And that's so. Two different avenues. Of course, he's talking about the potable water, the drinking water, and we'll be talking about the water out there in the open water, the bay, the Atlantic. Yep. So that's what we're looking at today. Yeah, it is a great meeting today. It's at 9 a.m. It's virtual. So it goes from 9 a.m. to 12:20. There are going to be some very cool updates. There are going to be updates on the tidal restoration projects at Curry Hammock and the village of Isla Mirada. And if you've been traveling through the village at all, you will have seen some of that construction on the road. And I hear they're really getting great results from that. There's also going to be an overview from the recently reestablished Canal Restoration Subcommittee and what their proposed work is. So I think that's going to be of interest to a lot of folks here in the Keys. And another item, there are lots of items, but I'm only going to highlight one more. But an update is going to be provided on the NOAA's Ocean Guardian School Program. So the Ocean Guardian School Program, I'm not sure if you're familiar with that, but Monroe County School District is only the second school district in the entire country to become an Ocean Guardian School District. It's a collaboration with NOAA and the school district, and they start to teach stewardship early. They start to teach things like how to teach the children how to be good stewards of the land-based environment and the water, because it all goes hand in hand. So that's on the agenda today too. Additional information, if you want additional information about the meeting, I can give you a URL, but nobody will remember it or be able to write it down. So just Google FWC WQPP. Okay. FWC WQPP, Water Quality Protection Program. You can go to that website and you can get the link to the steering committee meeting. And there's public comment as well. So we always welcome public comment. We want to hear from the folks out there. So certainly please participate, join in just to listen or provide some comments. We're very interested to see what the community has to say.
Okay. Yeah. Julie Cheon, she's Sanctuary Communications Manager, Florida Keys, not the Aqueduct Authority, but with the National Marine Sanctuary. It's all water today. So anyway, it's staying in touch, though, with the Sanctuary. We've covered a lot of topics here this morning, but to stay informed and involved ongoing with the Sanctuary, what's the best way for the public to do that?
Okay. I always promote the social media because that's where we push the information out to the community. So, we have our Facebook page, our Instagram page, we're on X as well. So we try to push out information and updates on regulations, science, restoration, education programs, meetings. So, if you follow us there, that's the easiest way to get updates. But of course we have our website, and you can find more detailed information there about regulations, maps, and all kinds of more details about all the resources that are shown in the social media. The Sanctuary Advisory Council meetings that we have, and also the Water Quality Protection Program steering meetings, attend those or check those out or find out what they're about. This is where the community really can come and engage at a little bit of a higher level, because they'll be able to see what's happening and they'll be able to engage with the decision makers and the policy makers right there in a very open forum. Not that you can't always reach out to all of them otherwise, but it's a great forum for that. And finally, I'm always a big proponent, use the mooring buoys. We had a post today up about showing people how to the proper use of the mooring buoys. We really want them to stay in good shape. And if you're not using them properly, it can do damage, and then we have to repair them, and it takes time and it takes money. So, but it's a really cool short video on social media today.
Okay, thank you. Well, that's a lot of great information today. It is Julie Cheon. She is the Sanctuary Communications Manager with the Florida Keys National Marine Sanctuary on Good Morning Keys. I think we've covered it for today, Julie, unless there's anything else we didn't cover, but yeah, we covered a lot. So thank you. Yeah, thanks so much for being here. We'll let you get to your next meeting and have a wonderful day.
All right. Thanks so much.
All right. Thank you. Take care.
Bye-bye.
Now, Julie Cheon, she's Sanctuary Communications Manager, Florida Keys National Marine Sanctuary. On Good Morning Keys, we are looking at 84 degrees right now, on our way to 90, though. Slight chance of a shower or a thunder shower at 10%. East wind 10 to 15 miles per hour today. So it's a little bit, it's starting to kick up just a bit. Shouldn't be tremendously troubling on the water, though, if you're headed out. This is Keys Talk 96.9 102.5. The Talk of the Keys, 8:52 now on the 15th of July. We'll be back with more Good Morning Keys in just a moment.
Let's talk trash. I'm Taylor Conrath, and my family's been taking care of your family's trash for years. In fact, we've operated Marathon Garbage Service and kept the Middle Keys clean since my great-grandpa, John Conrath, founded the company in 1950. That's a lot of years talking trash and hauling trash. And these days, we take care of your family's recyclables in addition to commercial and residential waste removal. The Conrath family and our entire team of great employees takes pride in keeping our community clean, from the north end of the 7-mile bridge to Craig Key. Now it's my generation of Conraths working together with my grandfather and my dad to continue the tradition and commitment started in 1950 at Marathon Garbage Service. The Conrath family is always there for your family. If you need to talk trash, just call us at 305-743-5165. That's 305-743-5165. Or visit us at 4290 Overseas Highway in Marathon and online at marathongarbageservice.com.
Step back in time. Step back into Old Town. Step into Old Town Bakery with fresh baked treats like pastries, cookies, brownies, and fresh breads made every morning. Enjoy hot and cold delicious ground coffee always brewing and handcrafted breakfast and lunch sandwiches made to order on oven fresh breads. And now Old Town Bakery features spinach mushroom feta quiche and ham and cheese quiche, delectable for breakfast or lunch by the slice. Get a whole quiche pie by ordering in-store with 24 hours advance notice. And enjoy new cream-filled croissants with chocolate or vanilla filling and award-winning fresh baked pies, including their key lime pie, voted the best in the Keys. Pick up their unique Old Town Bakery t-shirts for a friend or yourself and give the gift of deliciousness with a gift card available for purchase in-store. And their catering menu is available to make that next event memorable. Old Town Bakery on the corner of Eaton and Grinnell. Stop in or order online. OldTownBakeryKeyWest.com.
Your home is your castle, your sanctuary. Rack Advanced Control brings together the electrical and smart technology that make your home comfortable, secure, and effortless to live in. Imagine music flowing seamlessly through every room, beautiful lighting that adjusts to your lifestyle, motorized shades, climate control, and energy management all working together automatically. From integrated audio and video systems to discrete security cameras and professional electrical services, Rack Advanced Control designs and installs technology that works in perfect harmony. Originally founded in California, Rack Advanced Control has over 20 years of experience serving the luxury residential market and was honored as a 2024 Lutron Excellence Award Integrator. Now with an office in Key West, Florida, Rack brings world-class smart home design and electrical expertise to the Florida Keys. Make your home smarter, safer, and more enjoyable to live in. Call 786-647-9647 or visit rackav.com. Rack Advanced Control. Intelligent luxury, expertly installed.
Get ready to laugh out loud with the Greenhouse Giggles. Brought to you by the Greenhouse Dispensaries of Florida. Monday through Friday, it's a hand-picked lineup of timeless TV comedy that guarantees smiles, chuckles, and full-on giggles. Each episode features legendary performers like Red Skelton, Bob Hope, The Three Stooges, Betty White, George Burns, Milton Berle, Dick Van Dyke, and so many more. So catch the giggles for Greenhouse Giggles, weekdays 4 p.m. and 8 p.m. Sponsored by the Greenhouse, here on Keys Living TV.
Good Morning Keys on Keys Talk 96.9, 102.5.
And good morning, Keys. Keys Talk 96.9, 102.5, the talk of the Keys. It is 8:56, and we are going to say good morning to Leah Stockton with Keys Health and Housing. Good morning to you, Leah. Whoa, wait a second here. Where did we go? Just a second. There you are. Okay. Still trying.
Here we are. Good morning.
Trying to get used to a couple of different controls here. But anyway, good morning to you. So Keys Health and Housing, building community and transforming lives. For those who are still not yet familiar with the new name, formerly A.H. Monroe and FKOC became Keys Health and Housing, a unified approach to health and housing across the Keys.
Absolutely. I think the average adult has to hear something 24 times until they remember it. So we've got plenty of time for people to still get used to the new name, right?
Yeah, indeed. But again, providing health, housing, and hope for many, many years. Refresh my memory. How many years is it so far?
It's 40 years this year. 2026 is the 40th anniversary of the organization, and it has, evolved quite a bit, but we still remain true to our roots of providing housing and healthcare, both. And we believe that they are interconnected, that you can't have one without the other. Yeah. And so 40 years later, here we are.
Well, it's been a busy year so far. You had a couple of very big events just within the recent past. I know there's always a need for funding, donations, and volunteers as well.
Absolutely. And a new push that we have going on at the moment is we just received a grant from the state for HIV prevention. Mm-hmm. So we will be expanding our HIV prevention efforts out into the community, and we can do testing on site at local businesses, events, that sort of thing on an outreach basis, or people are welcome to come by our office for testing. And along with that testing comes referrals to any other resources that somebody might need. We also have an HIV prevention effort where we can distribute supplies throughout the community. If someone would like to have those on site or be able to tell their customers, clients, consumers more about those efforts, they can reach out.
Okay. Yep. Leah Stockton, Director of Development and Engagement of Keys Health and Housing on Good Morning Keys. You can find out more at keyshh.org. So you had mentioned employers and businesses can take part in HIV prevention. Would they just reach out to your office?
That's right. They can reach out directly to me, or Miles is our outreach prevention coordinator. And so they can reach out to him as well. Our number is 296-6196, 305-296-6196.
Mm-hmm. Well, and then housing continues to be addressed by Keys Health and Housing as well. The Florida Keys Outreach Coalition for the Homeless, working on that issue for many years. New opportunities, new ideas, the same community commitment. I know we had the lofts that were built and are now occupied fully, I believe. You have a waiting list for the lofts in the Bahama Village?
Absolutely. We're coming up on a year. We started moving folks into the lofts last year in September. So it's coming up on a year. And at the moment, we do not have a wait list. We actually have 7 units that are open or will soon be open, 2 and 3 bedroom units. And so if anyone is interested in living at the lofts, now would be a great time to reach out, and we can tell you all about it. It is an income qualified property. So you have to earn 120% of the area median income or less. and we can walk you through what that looks like depending on your family size, where you fall in those income brackets, et cetera, would determine what your rent would be, as well as the size of the unit. So we have staff waiting down in the office at the loft that can help with that, or you can give us a call and we can help with that as well.
And those are monthly rentals then? Is that right? Is it an annual lease, or how does that work?
It's an annual lease that, you can renew. We do have on-site storage units, a community room, a little fitness center. And I mean, I don't think you could ask for a better location right there at Truman Waterfront, the splash pad, Fort Zach, close to downtown. It really is in the heart of Old Town.
Yeah, it is. Well, and again, thanks to the Florida Keys Outreach Coalition, now a part of Keys Health and Housing, but they've been providing solutions for homelessness since 1992, it looks like. So again,
absolutely,
long history there.
Absolutely. And those efforts are ongoing. We have our Loaves and Fish food pantry. Mm-hmm. It's open Monday, Thursday, Friday, 9 to 4. Anyone in the community is welcome to stop by if they need food. We give you non-perishable food, a bag per person in your household. That's 2221 Patterson. And just as importantly, if you have food to donate or financial donations as well to support our efforts at the food pantry, you can stop by 2221 Patterson for those as well. Any non-perishable food items are gratefully accepted.
Well, there's all kinds of initiatives going on, and you can find out more at keyshh.org. Even Point Siena Plaza is getting reworked as yet another solution to help with homing, providing homes, et cetera.
Absolutely. That one's on the long-term plan, right? Nothing happens overnight, but we steadily continue to make progress. That will have 8 nonprofits that will benefit from that project as we redevelop over at Point Siena for the social services side of that property.
Yep. Well, for more than 2 decades, Point Siena Plaza has been providing housing and support for individuals, again, experiencing homelessness, people with disabilities, veterans, and extremely low-income community members. So Keys Health and Housing working on a number of initiatives simultaneously to address health and housing needs in our community. Again, it is Leah Stockton. She is with Keys Health and Housing as the Director of Development and Engagement on Good Morning Keys. Well, I wanted to provide an overview anyway, and there's always an opportunity to support and get involved. What is the best way for people to reach out to you, Leah?
They can give us a call, 305-296-6196, or our website, keyshh.org. Either one, and you will find a way to connect with me. And we definitely have an opportunity. We depend on the community to continue doing the work that we're doing. And we're always grateful for that support. And as always, I also want to say that if you're out in the community and you need assistance, please also reach out, because that is what we're here to do. And even if it's not something we can help with directly, we can connect you to the organization that can.
Yeah. Well, health services and housing support for individuals and families across the Florida Keys for over 40 years. Now, Keys Health and Housing. Go to keyshh.org to learn more, to donate, to contact them directly. It is all available there at the website. Leah, thank you so much for being here this morning. I think we've covered it all in a thumbnail sketch, but more to talk about next month.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. And I hope everybody has a great day.
Yes. Thanks for all that you do. Leah Stockton with us, the Director of Development and Engagement for Keys Health and Housing on Keys Talk 96.9, 102.5, the Talk of the Keys. Well, looking at a warm day again, but that Saharan dust is helping keeping the tropics a little bit more at bay, so to speak. We've got a 90-degree high for today, 10% chance of a shower or a thunder shower. Tonight, those slight chance of showers continues at 20% and low around 84. The east wind today and tonight, 10 to 15 miles per hour. It's going to settle down a little bit. East wind 5 to 10 for tomorrow, chance of precipitation, and 90 for your high. Looking into Friday is 10% chance of rain and 90. Saturday, Sunday, looking pretty good. Saturday, 20% chance of a shower or thunder shower. Sunday, mostly sunny. Both days, 90 degrees for the high. This is Keys Talk 96.9, 102.5, the Talk of the Keys. Getting set for Glenn Beck coming your way here momentarily, keeping us informed with everything happening around the world. He's followed by Clay and Buck at noon, Sean Hannity at 3 o'clock, 5 o'clock. It is Drew Steele and Florida's Voice. 6 o'clock, the great one, Mark Levin. 9 o'clock, Jesse Kelly. Coast to Coast AM as well. That is overnight. And AUC with Dr. B, Dr. Bruce Boros, Saturday at 9 a.m. as well. Breaking news as soon as it happens. Also, local, state, national news updated at least every half hour. Weather round the clock. Keys Talk 96.9, 102.5, the Talk of the Keys. Thank you for listening.